Hi, I'm Carcino.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and we need to get into this very much so because this is a growing problem that has been around for a very long time. And we try to protect our young players from it, but though it hurts to say, it must be said.
This morning, it has suspended Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant for 25 games due to conduct detrimental to the league.
But you can't make money on the NBA doing this stuff. First of all, you're not a thug. You're not a criminal. You're not a crook. You're a guy making $100 million a year to dribble a stupid, 200 million to dribble a stupid basketball. Y'all hit the lottery to do something. There's people out there work 9 to 5, 8 and 9 hours a week, gonna make $25,000 a year. They will kill to be in our situation. You got to look in the mirror and say, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm the problem.
Man, now you see these scenarios go by, and everyday people that walk around like everyday walk of life. Ja was the second pick, and people are saying he was the key of the draft. You know, he was the star of that draft that had Kobe White and Zion Williamson, and he was box office. He was the next star of this league, everything. And one incident can turn you into a villain. And the league will never forgive you for said events. Now, you have a certain group of people who are 35 to 45 are saying, that boy dumb. Boy, that's NBA dumb boy. Ja Morant is stupid. You making all that money, boy, and you gonna sit there and do something like that, waving a gun around, and then you're stupid, you do it again, and now you're doing anything you can. Boy, you got all this opportunity to make all this money. What is you doing? Now, you got everybody from the age group from 21 to 34 said, this is wrong. Man, they keep messing with Ja, man. Man, he ain't did nothing, man. This is foul. Man, it's just, man, they trying to get him to do something, man. I'm like him, man. F that, man. He just having fun. What they messing with Ja for? So you got these two groups colliding. And going head up with each other. And Ja represents this younger generation that is defiant. They don't think the rules apply to them, and they do what they want to do when they want to do it. And this type of behavior has been accepted in the NBA because, look, I could play ball. And because I could play ball, the fans love me. I'm unapologetically me. I could just do whatever I want. But now, this situation that just happened recently was a situation that I'm judging it by. He was wrong with the gun situation. He was stupid to have anything that resembled a gun in a video, waving it around with the rap song going off, talking about popping somebody in the head and all this. In the NBA, that's not what they want to market. I understand that. Now, as it replies to this situation here, as you can see with Ja Morant, the rules are once again they sit there and make the rules just for Ja Morant. Now, that's when you have a problem. You know, Ja's already been dealing with injuries this whole season, so he's been frustrated with that. They fired the coach. So everything has been going upside down with this team. But you don't help the situation when you turn around and you go ahead and you say, oh, this is what I want to do now. I'm going to change the script and I'm going to do it like this. And we're going to take the focus off of basketball and make an example of trying to target Ja Morant. Now, why is this even a conversation? Ja Morant made gun finger things at the Golden State Warriors. When another Golden State Warrior was doing it towards him, everybody in the league has done this, from LeBron to every player in the league. Steph Curry's even done it. These players have all done it. Now, if the NBA wants to make a change and say next season there's no more like using gun fingers, no more in the NBA, that's fine. But you can't just make that a rule for Ja Morant and fine him after warning him. And I was like, look, everybody has done this, and everybody in the NBA is doing it. So how are you going to make it a rule just for Ja Morant? That's where you're towing the line. You're taking this to a whole nother level. You're making this more about you than Ja Morant. Well, we've seen this so many times. Well, we hope his Ja Morant story ends up better than Steve Francis. Now, I've seen these situations and they were greatly exaggerated. You know, a lot of people felt like what was happening with Francis and his thing and all he was going through and him being up there, his game reminded him a lot of Steve Francis. And they do the comparison charts. I see him more of Allen Iverson than that. But the game targeted AI as they have targeted Ja's game because they want him to conform to what it is that they want to do. But as you can see here, Ja Morant was always on par, if not better than Shea. Now, in 2021, Shea was ranked 48, Ja was ranked 9th. So now they have Shea up there on a whole different level. The playing fields have changed. So when the playing fields change, you know, people now are looking at it from a different perspective and saying, oh, well, I think Ja, you know, because he's missed so many games due to injury, the fans have forgotten about it. It's not the case. Ja comes back on the court, the fans are right there when Ja comes up. He's going to do something that's going to push the needle. The biggest play this year is when he dunked on Wemby, and the NBA was stupid enough to not even count it. So this is what's the problem with the game. Sports betting has become a problem with it. It's affected how they are officiating the games. It's affecting how people are noticing the game. And now that you see it's playing out at a level that's Ja Morant is being victimized in, because they say, well, he created the situation. Well, it's like this. If you punish a guy for something, you know, and he's serving the punishment or have served the punishment, why are you still punishing the guy? Let him play ball. He's not doing anything. I could see if he did anything this would not be an issue if they didn't make it an issue. The public wouldn't be talking about it if they didn't make it an issue for the public to talk about it. Everybody has seen this. Like, Ja Morant doing it shouldn't mean anything. This is different from when Gilbert Arenas did that. Because when Gilbert did it, David Stern was in there. And he just came out and suspended him for 50 games. Considered him a complete idiot. So that was different. Now, well, the NBA can forgive Gilbert Arenas for bringing guns in the locker room years later. A guy who still hasn't learned his lesson, in my opinion, is still, adolescence in the brain. Then why Ja Morant is getting all of this vitriol? Now, I think it's a targeted attack more than anything. We've covered this at great lengths, and I told you they have their agendas. They have who they want to go get. They have the people who they are against, and they have their reasons for them. So I have no idea what Ja Morant has done to these people to make them feel the way that they feel, but I feel he's been targeted. I feel he's definitely been targeted in the league. They replaced him with Shea. He's not happy about it, and he shouldn't be happy about it. I mean, if you find out you've been replaced for no reason, why would they want to give you anything, And to come out and say it, they didn't find him for the first time against the Golden State. He did it the next day after they warned him, and that's when he got mad. And he's like, well, they made me the villain anyway. Right. And they said, oh, well, we didn't know everybody in the league was doing it. Because you immediately find him without even investigating and seeing what's going on to find out this isn't an incident that just happened. Ja has done this all season. And now he's a complete disaster. It's like Ja Morant is not a complete disaster. Like, they want to paint a narrative about a player that's actually doing something positive for the NBA. When everybody was saying the NBA sucked, the game sucked, Ja Morant was number 3? Top 3 most watched person on all the young folks were coming in because of Ja. And 2022 was the year of Ja. What is you talking about? There's so many injuries. There's so many injuries going on that it just ruined what the foundation of the team was about. And now that everybody is doing their thing, they want to villainize him. And they say, oh, well, let's go back to the one thing you did. Let's go back to the one thing you did. Okay. Are they going to go back to the one thing Chris Snaps Porzingis did? Are they going to go back to that anytime Porzingis do something out of line or what they feel is out of line? I know what they want. They want Ja Morant to shave his head, get a low-cut fade. They want him to wear suits. They would love that. Maybe. Now, this is what we're talking about. Then they'll be on there. No, what? We can't go back to John. He was just young. He made a mistake, and he said the media whole thing would turn. But now it's let's go through John's career and pick him apart because now we think he is a complete disaster. Really? That's how we viewing Ja Morant? Because he did finger guns? Really? I could see if he did something off the court that was related to what he did before. He had a gun in the strip club. He showed it on live. Dumb, young, okay. That's been handled. Now, the gun in the car incident, live, once again, even though it's a lighter or whatever he said, it's not a real gun. The fact that you needed to hold that on live stream, being around these guys who live streaming with you to try to boost their channel up. It's like, can y'all live stream with Ja not doing that? That's not helping Ja. That's hurting him. So, once again, he got to miss 25 games because of y'all stupidity. So you don't got the right people around you that's got your best interest. Now, I'm not his father, but if I'm his father, I'm telling him, son, we got to have a talk. I know you're going to do you, but I'm still going to be your daddy, so I'm going to have to give you game because the money don't matter. It's what you do that matters. So you got to definitely, hone that in and say, all right, the stupidity got to go. Okay, it's time. Little boy time is over. It's man time now. And, you got to cut that loose. That's got to go cold turkey. Like, we can't have no nonsense. Because now you're on the bad side. And everybody have an image of what they think you are now. And Nike is like one string away from getting rid of Ja. But you know why they didn't? Because Ja's shoe sells. You know how many athletes they got under their umbrella whose shoes ain't moving? A lot of them. Ja's shoe sells. You know how mad they was? They had to get rid of Kyrie Irving. They had to cut ties. The Kyrie 4s was the craziest selling shoe. They didn't even know why it was selling. People love the shoe. That's the same thing with Ja. People love Ja Morant. And that's why they support Ja. And it ain't just black kids. I know what y'all want to say. Oh, the black. No, white kids, Hispanic kids. I saw a Hispanic kid with a Ja Morant jersey here in Chicago saying that's his favorite player is Ja Morant. His last name is Juan Gomo or something like that, Wantez or something. But yeah, Ja Morant is his favorite player, which was a shock to me. But yeah, that's the guy he watches a lot is Ja. But he's a younger dude. He's like 19, 20. That's the same era, he grew up watching Ja Morant in this game. So he's on the court trying to do what Ja do. He can't jump over a Dixie cup, but hey, that's who he loves. Now, what is the problem here that you see? What do you see the problem here? And that's the connection with this and Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson didn't give them problems in his life when he was playing. That was early in his career as a rookie. He did an interview and was like, I keep a gun on me everywhere I go. And then that turned into him getting a setup arrest by the NBA to let him know, hey, you can't carry no guns, bro. You can't carry no guns. Allen Iverson went to the Dream Team, went overseas. They were so worried about Allen Iverson being a problem for the Dream Team. The one that didn't win, they won the bronze. Didn't win the gold, first Dream Team. They didn't win the gold. They had LeBron on the team. And, they had Larry Brown, who was the wrong type of coach. And everybody was pissed at him. AI stayed on a boat. He ain't go nowhere. He did not leave the boat. He stayed on the boat the whole time. He had a boat. Everybody was on that boat. He was no problems to nobody. Now, when you start seeing people that seem to violate the said agreements, they violate certain people's positions because they only thinking about themselves. They don't think about nobody else. So when you see it break down, then you'll see it for what it is, really. Everybody in the game, like a lot of these players, the young guys, they idolize Ja. Ja's getting to be an old head in the game now. Like Zion and all these dudes, like these players coming in the league, these dudes was like, dog, in high school, you was my guy, Ja. These dudes are 20, 21. This draft class coming in, they ain't coming up off Bron. These new people are coming in off Steph, Ja. This is their era now. Ja is the face of this new age era. Him and Zion was the new group that was going to come in and be the new wave. So you got Shea, Ja, Zion, like Trae Young, all these dudes. Now it's changed. You know, they wanted Wemby to be all these things and Wembyama because it's good for their game in Paris. They want the money there. So they got to make, they got to make this thing work. So that's corrupt. Then the whole league is corrupt. But basketball is basketball. And that's what people watch the game. They want to see something that night that they might not see again in life. Right. They glazing like plays that's not even highlights, really. Just to glaze the Lakers. It's like LeBron barely catching an alley-oop and putting it in the rim at 40. They're like, look, oh my God, what an unbelievable play. I'm like, dude, y'all replaying this over and over on ESPN. It's like sad. It's really sad. This dude barely got the ball in there on alley-oop. And I'm like, why are you advertising that when you got somebody like 20 feet above the rim dunking on two dudes? Show Anthony Edwards doing that. Show his dunk. Show somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like Anthony Edwards has got his WWE, monologue down. He got all that. So he's just a loud, young mouth, young, brash, talking crazy, offending the day players of old, but he resembles this new era of basketball. You got Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant. This is the new era that's coming up. And all this big three. Kevin Durant, LeBron, and Steph, they the big three. Who named them that? LeBron's supposed to been out of here. And he's just milking this damn thing because he don't want to go. He's afraid of what his life going to be like outside of this spotlight. He don't want to see it end. But it's over, dog. Like, it's over. You got to go. You're in the way. Them dudes in the way. Yeah, they in the way. They got to go. It's time to get rid of these bums and move to the future. And that's where we at now. So Ja ain't a disaster. Ain't nothing about Ja is a disaster. These people keep wasting your time with lies. They've done this, like, there's people that don't like Ja Morant, period. But the finger wave thing is nonsense. Okay, the finger guns thing is nonsense. That's nonsense. That don't mean nothing. It would have been another moment that didn't mean a damn thing if somebody didn't try to make it into something. Now, if you want to ban it, ban it. But ban it from the league. Because now you look stupid because everybody else is doing it. So now you look completely stupid by trying to find him and nobody else when he ain't the only one that's doing it. So how you going to find him for it? And everybody else is allowed to do it. Now, did you send a memo to the league saying we don't want to see that no more? So everybody in the future will not do it. Damn, Dalton Connect did it. Everybody's doing. LeBron did it. Ja did it. Steph did it. Like, there's other players that people ain't know. Scotty Barnes did it. I think Hachimura did it. It's so many people have done this in the league. If you just watching the game and it meant nothing, it happened and went by and it was nothing of no news ever. Why is this news? And if you're the NBA, Why are you exploiting it? Y'all made it a problem. When you could have just said, we're sending this out to the rest of the league. We don't want to see this no more. That's it. And it's done. So anyway, I'm out. Don't forget to support the page. Like the video, definitely. If you like the video, hit the notification bell after you subscribe to the page. My Cash App, as you can see at the bottom header that's floating by, is Carcino, Karcno. Don't forget to go to the Patreon, which is Carcino for Life. And we out. Peace. Shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life, too.